Have you ever thought about taking the next step in your career on the enlisted side of the service member house? There are a lot of different options for you, but there are two that are really appealing. And the first one is green to gold, and the second one is warrant officer. Both are great programs that you can take advantage to take the next step in your career. But we have to determine which one's better. And what I think is better is the commissioned officer side. There are many different options or different ways that we could state that these two differentiate from each other, but there's 3 or 4 things that I want to touch bases on. Number one is school. So the Green to Gold program allows you to go to school for a set amount of time, whether it be 2, 3, or 4 years. And within those programs, there's different little sub-programs. Some are hip pocket scholarships, and some are active duty options, and then just a regular 3 or 4 year option. With those hip pocket and active duty scholarship options, you're allowed to go to school and get paid to go to school and have the government still pay for your school, which is an excellent option. The warrant officer side does not have that. They could still collect tuition assistance while they're in, so you're still getting a set amount of money for school, but that's only $4,500 a year. When you have this other option where you can get all the schooling that you want within that period of time, as long as you get your bachelor's, and they'll pay for it all. The second thing that I want to talk about is pay. Okay, once you get out of green to gold and you become an officer, you're going to get paid for this no matter where you're at. As an officer, you're going to get paid a little bit more as a commissioned officer than you are as a warrant officer. Right when you start off, it flip-flops. It's the other way around. You're a junior, the warrant officers get paid more for about the first 3 years. But after those 3 years, you're going to get paid more as a commissioned officer. And that's a big thing because, as you progress and you become a W1, a W2, and a W3, you'll still get paid as much. But on the commissioned officer side, when you're an O3 or an O4, you're going to make $1,000 to $2,000 more than you would on the warrant officer side, which is a great deal of money because it rolls out. Most people stay in for 20 years. When they stay in for those 20 years, they retire. And when you retire making more money, you're going to get that money back, because if you stay in 20 years, you're going to get that 50% back. 50% of a bigger paycheck on the commission side is better. So another good reason to go to green to gold and become an officer is the promotion rate. The promotion rate from lieutenant to second lieutenant to captain is about 70 to 80%, which is a great rate. You could be in and get promoted a lot easier. As for on the warrant officer side for CW3 and 4, it's about 50%. So it's about 30% less. A lot more competitive to get promoted to be better than everybody else, which is kind of sucks on their side, but it's very nice. The last thing I want to talk about is your workload. So on the commissioned officer house, no matter where you go, you're going to have a big workload. You're not only going to be dealing with soldiers and other aspects of the job with working in logistics or supply or anything else, you're also going to be working directly for somebody else. And the warrant officer side is a little bit better. You're actually going to have a lot more freedom, and you can just go out and fly, or you can just go out and do your job in your specific area, which is great. But you don't get that sense of fulfillment, different sense of pride and accomplishment that you would get as a commissioned officer, but dealing with more, being able to do more. So, in concluding in my speech, I want to talk to you and remind you that the commissioned officer side, going to green to gold, is a much better option than the warrant officer side. Even though that you might be able to go fly every day as a warrant officer and have that in your hand, you'll still be able to get more money, be able to get promoted quicker, and actually have your schooling paid for you in full. That's why the Green to Gold program is better than the warrant officer program.